Hello again, thanks for your company. Yes, that was a massive thumping by Sorrento. They ended up beating Athena 7 goals to 2. Now that thumping over Athena means they sit in outright second spot, just 1 point behind Bayswater City. Now those two teams will clash in round 21, and we caught up with Sorrento's coach Paul Price and got his thoughts about that looming clash.
There's 2 games to go, and obviously we play in the cup final next Saturday against Balcatta. And then when the league season resumes the following week, we actually play Bayswater at Bayswater. So that's probably going to be the title decider, I would imagine. It might not be, but you would think at this stage, if someone wins that game, they would go on and win it.
We're coming to you from Integre Stadium, the home of Inglewood United, where WA are taking on Perth Glory in the first of 2 practice hit-outs. We'll have the highlights and reaction from both camps a little later on the show. And of course, we'll feature the match of the week between Bayswater and Balcatta. But first, it's a club that's produced some of our finest players across Australia. But in more recent years, it's had to go back to basics. Football 360 took a trip down memory lane on the iconic Kingsway Olympic.
With the club's history, that's in the past. We've got to look to the future. We've got to get the business plan in place, we've got to get our development plan in place, our academies in place, and basically get the club back onto the footing that it was ages ago. But it's going to be through planning, careful planning, good financial, good business planning, and we'll just go from there.
Why isn't this club a powerhouse club at the moment?
I think because the membership of the club declined, lack of interest from the members, being an ex-ethnic club, if that's a word for it. A lot of the Macedonians came down and supported the club and supported the team. The club had money at the time, and I think over the period of time there wasn't much foresight. I think people were living on the history, living in the past, and not thinking about what they have to do in the future. And the club was allowed to decline.
Definitely a tough challenge, yeah. There was quite a bit of disruption throughout the year for the boys. So my task really was just to sort of pick them up and you know, get the confidence back in, because we know we had a good team.
Leaving Sorrento reserves, coming to a Divi 2 side, which is sort of floundering at the bottom of the ladder there. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, well, I guess coaching the reserve team is a different proposition to coaching a first team. So as a reserve coach, you're always playing second fiddle to the first team. So this is an opportunity where I was sort of leading the club as far as the coaching is concerned.
Stan Lazaridis played here, yes, Michael Garcia played State League here, and that was really interesting because he spent most of his time at Balcatta. Sean Murphy may have spent a bit of time here, Jamie Harmwell spent a little bit of time here, but the Tom Beattie's brothers, Paul played in youth level. People like Sharpie, Arthur Sharp, Billy Murray, Chris Proctor, Lenny Dundo. I mean, seven times he's won the Golden Boot. He finished his career playing there and he actually coached here after. So a lot of players have come through the system, and we need to try and get that in place again.
Are your junior numbers strong to propel you back into top flight football?
Yeah, we've got a good junior base in terms of our small-sided games. Then we have 1 team in each division through to 16s. So we are getting strong. Our numbers are increasing, and we obviously need to work to increase that a lot more.
It's a large catchment zone, so to speak. There's players everywhere. Your cross-park rival, so to speak, pushing for promotion into Premier League. That must be a good source of motivation and inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, Wanneroo are doing really well, so you know, hopefully they get promoted, and then they'll be in the we'll have a Premier League team in this catchment area. That's obviously where we want to be too. So you know, who knows, in 5 or 6 years' time, might have both Wanneroo and Kingsway in the Premier League, and there'll be a great local derby there in the Premier League.
My whole family's played it really. I've got an older brother who plays football, and my dad's played it, and all of my generation's played it as well.
Do you hope to make a career out of this sport one day?
Yeah, I hope one day I go back to the EPL to play for my home team, Sunderland, because I grew up there and I've always been fond of them.
What's the best thing about, say, the EPL?
The way they play, the pace of the ball and the tempo of the players.
Who are some of your heroes?
Probably Wayne Rooney, David Silva, Ashley Young and Nasri. Love it, it's my passion. I want to do it my whole life.
You hope to play for the Socceroos one day, maybe?
Oh yeah, just Socceroos and EPL. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, despite the overcast and gloomy condition, there's been a warm crowd here to cheer on the WA boys who are taking on Perth Glory in the first of two scratch matches, as they're called. Let's take a look at the highlights and reaction from both Ian Ferguson and Kenny Lowe.
The first half in particular we really controlled, and I thought the movement was good, and obviously playing out from the back and you know, getting my full backs forward. I was delighted with that. Obviously getting the two goals very quickly, but you know, the State League team shut the doors up, you know, probably towards the second half, and nearly the whole of the second half they played very well. I was very impressed with them. First half I felt we were patient, keeping the ball, and as I said before, we looked as though in the second half we were rushing a few things and giving the ball away and making life difficult for ourselves. And that's probably why I was standing on my 2 feet. You know, it's all about getting game time at this moment and giving personnel, you know, trying a few things with different positions.
I think the goal's a culmination of the way we tried to play. You know, we tried to play out, and we got caught a couple of times, but hey, I thought it was an entertaining game for everybody, and I thought it was a good run out for us, and I thought we posed a few problems for them, which, you know, they coped with quite comfortably, but at least they got a game out of it, which is the main thing, you know. I think the first 15, I think it's just getting into the scheme of things. Our lads are 2 nights a week, and we're playing against, you know, the guys that have been to a grand final, are playing in the Asian League, they've been full-time now in for maybe 8 to 10 weeks. I thought, you know, and once we got acclimatised after 15, I thought we did fairly well. We played some good stuff.
Well, here at Perth Glory, we thought we'd practice some of the things that make QBE great, like 125 years of experience. We trialled a new fraud replacement policy.
Can I have
Thanks, Baz.
And comprehensive cover, well, that seemed like a pretty good idea too. Turns out, what's great for your insurance, not so good for football.
QBE, see how competitive we are with your insurance.
And if you missed out today's game, don't worry, there'll be another fixture on September 12th. Well, time to look at the match of the week highlights between Bayswater and Balcatta. Let's take a look.
With two teams 1 point behind them on the league ladder, table-topping Bayswater City needed a win to keep their title aspirations alive. Host Balcatta needed a win to keep their finals hopes alive. As the hour mark approached, Stephen Turnbull played the ball out to Cisco Jakura. Turnbull then ran down the line and received the ball back. Madashi failed to close him down, and he picked out Tom Gooding at the back post, who powered his header into an unguarded net. Gooding's second goal in 2 games, giving Bayswater the lead. In the 67th minute, McCarthy lost possession. Carpe then beat Turnbull to the ball and played a superb through ball to substitute Ashley Rossendale, who outmuscled David Cisse, cut inside Negic before beating Tom Dixon at his near post to pull Balcatta level. However, 11 minutes later, Bayswater had restored their lead. Jaquera fought to keep possession at the edge of the box, turned Tong and fed Cataccioni, who rolled the ball back to Jaquera, who hit a right foot shot on the run past Karoma. Balcatta looked to strike back immediately, but as John Kearney looked to pull away from Daniel Masevski, he was impeded, with Masevski pulling his shirt. Referee David Costello issued a yellow card, Masevski's second, and then followed a red and a long walk to the changing room. From the free kick, Turnbull spotted the run of Cataccioni, who gave a masterclass in skill and finishing. Superb control took him away from Nunes, a sway of the hips away from Tong, and gave him space to arrow a shot past Karoma and into the keeper's bottom left-hand corner.
Very happy for two reasons. The first one, because we kept the top spot, and that's what was our first goal. Secondly, because we achieved the goal that we set at the beginning of the year, which is make the top 5. So it was a great win, particularly for the way it came in the second half, that we had 2 or 3 players with a bit of injury, so they actually played with big heart. So yes, I'm happy with that. Yeah, very pleased.
In other results, relegation-threatened ECU Joondalup stunned Perth, beating them on their home ground 5-3, John Higgins netting twice for Joondalup. Armidale, also in the relegation zone, helped their chances of survival with a 2-1 away win at Stirling Lions, while second-place Sorrento put a severe dent in Floreat Athena's title aspirations, thumping them 7-2, incredibly 7 different scorers grabbing a goal each. The Western Knights picked up 3 points against the winless NTC to give themselves a slight chance of survival, but Bunbury Forum Force's point at Inglewood may well be the one that keeps them in the Premier League. Which all means that Bayswater City remain top of the league ladder, 1 point ahead of Sorrento, who now have a 3-point buffer from Floreat Athena in third. The next 4 teams continue to vie for finals spots. At the bottom, the Western Knights will need 2 wins from their final 2 games to have any hope of survival, while a win to Joondalup, Bunbury or Armidale in their next game will secure their Premier League status. But all these teams will have to wait a week as Sorrento and Balcatta face off in the State League Cup final. Balcatta in their first ever final, and Sorrento looking to retain the cup they won last year.
And congratulations to Sorrento's under-12s who were victorious in their cup final against Fremantle United this week. They won 2-0. And that wraps up another busy webisode for Football 360 this week. Don't forget to tell us your football story. We'll be back again next week with all the State Cup highlights. We'll see you then.